a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you. That everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. Then it will really be a good day.
So I don't know how many of you have or have not seen that before, but I hope you can enjoy its simple and deep message. It is both profound and quite simple, very much like our own lives. And so let's sit with that experience. And I'd like you just to establish yourself in a sitting or lying posture. And then I'd like you to simply drop down into the heart space, down into the belly. And breathe the breath of gratitude that you have been invited to remember. That felt sense. It's a response. It's a response to something requiring first our mindfulness. Because if you cannot recognize each moment of life, each one, no matter what's in it, as a blessing, then your gratitude, as mine is still growing. It isn't about the weather or the conditions. It's about a certain kind of opening both to the vulnerability and to the preciousness of this human life accorded to few, gifted to you this one day. Where do you feel it? Breathe into the body, let the body be still. Where does the gratitude, the truth of this precious human life and its infinite blessings, even in its challenges, the infinite blessing, where does the body know this? I can feel it for myself really in what I call the quivering heart. And so let's begin by calling to mind our aspirations to be grateful for everything. And those for whom we wish to dedicate this practice. It might be a special one or those infinite others. on whom we have relied for love, support, care, whom we recognize as a blessing. And if you were to name them all, we would have no time for anything else. Those who have offered care, love, playfulness, joy, the teachings, and even the challenges. And may this practice then be of benefit to the happiness, to the welfare, to the good of all beings everywhere without exception, omitting none, awakening us and freeing us all. So let's just rest in this heart of gratitude, letting whatever comes to mind come. Grateful that we have been gifted this life to come to know it in its wholeness, both love and hate, joy and sorrow, health and illness, that there is a way to embrace and open to it all. And we begin, as I said, always first with mindfulness, steadying, stabilizing, and calming the habit, nature, thinking mind. It is not enough here. Gratitude does not come out of thinking. It's a very intimate, felt sense. And a recognition. And so see if we can simply breathe in, make contact with what is alive in the body, being grateful for that aliveness wherever you find it. And as we breathe out, that we simply rest. Not seeking, wanting anything else. That this one moment is enough if we are fully present. And so we feel the sense of the in breath and the out breath. And really see if we can't begin practicing by showing up completely. Softening the body. Letting the mind rest in the waves of the breath. Using each breath and each moment as an opportunity to awaken. What is the blessing in this? This one simple, quiet moment. We can be grateful not only for each breath, but then for each thought an opportunity to awaken, to know thinking as thinking. So rather than push away, reject, judge, or condemn, we can open right here in gratitude. If we can be grateful for both the in breath and the out breath, this is a perfect training. And then I'd like you, with a stable and calm mind, to call to mind a moment of gratitude, a moment of your feeling gratitude. Maybe a birth, maybe a moment, maybe a sunset, maybe a quiet moment in nature, maybe a dark sky with twinkling stars. I'd like you to form that image of that which you have a clear sense of gratitude. And there are likely many, but see what comes to mind. It might be a moment with a person, a feeling of love, of being held. a moment of belonging, a moment of connection. Just let that moment develop in your mind's eye for a moment. And then gathering the recognition of that moment, holding that in the mind, dropping back into the body, this waking down, seeing how you know gratitude as it's alive in the body. I have a sense of my heart being so big it's pushing up against the walls of the chest. Notice any particular physical sensations that are present, or maybe those that are not present. Maybe you're noticing a kind of dullness or numbness, and there's no right or wrong experience, just checking in. Feeling that sense of gratitude and seeing if you can name what you're feeling grateful for. What is the blessing you're bringing into your mindful attention? Mine happens to be love, but it could as easily be creativity, um, energy, connection of some other sort, nature itself. What is it you're feeling grateful for? What is that gratitude? You're recognizing something. Remember, all gratitude comes out of first a recognition of the blessing, of the goodness of a person, a thing, or situation. What is it? Breathe it in. And remembering your gratitude, I am grateful for this love. I am grateful for this person. I am grateful for nature. I'm grateful for this opportunity, for this awakening. Offer a statement of gratitude. You might simply say, thank you. Thank you to the stars. Thank you to the canyons. Thank you to the trees. Thank you to this body. Thank you to this being. grateful for some pleasant or positive or connecting source. And then for a moment, I'd like you to reflect on once you have that feeling of gratitude, the recognition of the blessing, how have you then responded? How was the gratitude, the blessing acknowledged? Was it a communication? Was it an action? Was it a thought? How do you keep this gratitude alive now? And often we say we call our blessings to mind each day to remember. The infinite sources that support us, that care for us, that love us, happening every moment, every breath. And then I'd like you to let go of that particular mental vignette, just resting in the breath for a moment. Getting that physical felt sense, what remains? Is it an energy or an ease, a sharpened attention, a relaxed, stable mind? And then I'd like you to recount as well a moment where someone has been grateful for you, where they have recognized the blessing of you. A thank you, an appreciation, an act of kindness or love. Someone telling you how what you offered mattered. And we're going to drop into how it feels to receive the blessings of gratitude. Having others seeing you yourself as the blessing. Seeing your care, your contribution, your good heart's intention. and acknowledging that in some way. Calling that moment to mind and then dropping back into the body. Once again, feeling where is this receiving of gratitude, recognizing you yourself as the blessing. Where does that live in the body? This can at times be challenging. See if you notice the thoughts that might come along that get in the way or that hinder your ability to receive gratitude from others. The sense sometimes for people of pressure or demand in acknowledging that they themselves are a blessing. This doesn't mandate any action. It is your being your own true nature. And the benefit of this, the goodness of this, not only to yourself, but to others. We often reject thank yous and acknowledgments because actually it often is so easy for us to do. It was usually a moment of you simply being yourself. And see if we can breathe that in as well. That out of our own true nature, we are a blessing. And can we let that in? How does it feel to let this reality, to breathe it in? How does it feel? Thoughts come to mind. It was nothing, no big deal. No, it's never actually true. Every act of care, kindness, compassion, help, and support is a very big deal. How does it feel to make that offering? And then letting that go for a moment in which you were the blessing or others express gratitude, appreciation for you. Just coming back in the breath, breathing right into that heart of gratitude. can we accept thanks and praise? And then calling to mind a most joyful, most alive moment, a moment that stands out for you, one of those pinnacle moments. A moment of love, of connection, of sharing, belonging, whatever it is. And there are often many of these moments, just finding one. And seeing how gratitude rises up from just the recollection of this moment. Appreciation for that connection, that joy, that happiness, that love. How does it feel in your body? Just breathing the image in and feeling into the heart space, the breathscape, the body, as it naturally vibrates its response with gratitude. Recognizing the blessing of this moment. Thank you. And letting go, I'd like you to now see if you can recollect a moment of recognizing again yourself as the blessing, you yourself seeing yourself as a blessing, not another. Can you find that moment of gratitude? Remember, it takes mindfulness to see it. A moment when we see our own value, when we see our contribution, when we remember that we are a benefit and a blessing, and feel that gratitude for ourselves. It might be a quality, an attribute, and particular action, maybe a skill. But you recognize it as a blessing, not only to you, but to others. And you feel grateful. How does this feel in the body? How does it feel to acknowledge yourself as a blessing and to be grateful for yourself in this quality? Recognizing this as a gift and a blessing. You yourself. Noticing any particular thoughts that come to mind. Fully acknowledging. Breathing into it a few more times. And then letting it go, just coming back into the breath of gratitude. And then I'd like you to call to mind a moment of difficulty that in that recognition of that moment of difficulty, recognizing something about yourself, something about the truth of life, right from the very recognition, even though it wasn't pleasant, that it was also a blessing. And for which you can now be grateful. Some people call this seeing the blessing in the curse, seeing the blessing in the difficult, seeing the blessing in the teaching, in the wisdom, in the cultivated compassion that is its result. Can we open in gratitude even to this, seeing our own vulnerability and offering self-compassion? This is a blessing. Seeing a moment of reactivity and without judgment, acknowledging our own fear, our own pain, our own confusion. This is a blessing. Can we be grateful for these moments of awakening? And see how this feels in the body. Recognizing moments of unskillfulness. With this awareness alone, you can never be this unskillful again. What a blessing. Can we be grateful for this? Can you find within you the ability to say thank you? Thank you for this seeing clearly. Thank you for this deepened understanding. Thank you, as it has helped me acknowledge my own vulnerability, my own humanness, and will lead only to greater wisdom and compassion. Thank you. And see if we can move just a little bit closer to moments we have rejected, where we were not able to see the gift, the lesson, the teaching, the blessing, because we were so fearful or so uh, confused or in such reaction, so pained that we couldn't open. Everything that we can fully open to becomes a blessing. Can we be grateful for that opening? This is a part of the path. Seeing where we are closed is a blessing. Particularly if we can then respond to that with compassion. That compassion that is born out of recognition is always a blessing. Compassion for oneself, compassion for others, all a blessing. And what do you notice in your own body as you open to everything as a blessing? And it doesn't mean we like the situation. And it doesn't mean we pick it. It means, can we see the way we can grow? Even in this, we can open further. Even in this, we can come into more acceptance, more understanding. We can acknowledge the truth of vulnerability a little bit more just from this. This is a blessing. May we be grateful for our openness and for the closedness we can see. They are both blessings. Can we be grateful for our reactivity, our judgments, our habits, because once seen, they are liberated. And then even the challenge becomes a blessing. gratitude for the pleasant, gratitude for the unpleasant that is recognized as mind-made. Grateful for them. And we begin then exactly where we do. We don't try to push past, we don't try to feel or force gratitude. That's not helpful. But can we see where we are open and be grateful for seeing also where we are closed? Each is a blessing, a bell of awakening, an opportunity for healing, for wholeness, for health, for growth, for transformation. For seeing our true nature. May we all be happy. May we all be free from internal and external harm. May we all live with ease and well-being. May we remember who we are and our capacity for opening in the face of it all. Thank you. And may this practice this evening be of benefit. So be it. So thank you. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support by your being. And I hope that you can remember that you are a blessing to me, to others, and that others, even those difficult others, even those challenging moments, even those unwanted situations are in fact a blessing as well. And can we begin to open in gratitude? It takes that opening and that recognition first. That most of my personal growth, clarity, wisdom has come out of actually something difficult. Not necessarily the most pleasant thing, but recognizing something, seeing something that needed to be seen. And with acceptance, with gratitude, being grateful first that I could see it, and for my mindfulness practice. And then second, because in some way, in the very moment of seeing it, became more liberated. And that happened a lot this week. as we confronted challenges with the car and not knowing. And that's, in fact, what I know to be true about those moments, whenever they come. And they, of course, will come. So thank you for this evening. Sorry about last Monday. I was not able to communicate effectively about not being here. We will be here in following Mondays. And I will look forward to seeing you and being with you then. Any thoughts about this before we end this evening? I love this practice because it always puts me right at the edge. Like, where am I really shutting down? Where am I really not wanting? Where am I really just going like, no, not there. Mm-mm. Like in those other places where I like things, those other times when it went my way, I really am grateful for the pleasant. And as long as we cling to the pleasant and reject the unpleasant, there will be suffering. And so, with that, I hope that you have a good evening, a restful evening, and one filled with gratitude for this life and all that comes in it, with it, the things we like and the things we don't like. All right, everyone, much love to you all. Good to be back. Safe. It's good. New engine. Very exciting. I feel happy for those challenges since there were so many blessings actually in them. Infinite, really. Unspeakable blessings. All right, everyone. Mwah. Much love to you. Good to see you all. I'll see you in the morning. For those of you who join us for Tuesday morning at 7, Greg will be here, I believe, still Thursday at 7. Please join him. And we'll be back on Saturday morning. Very exciting. I can't wait to hear. I saw a little bit of what Pete offered. It looked really quite wonderful. I'll look forward to seeing you all then. All right, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
Good night.
See you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're
Thank you.
so welcome. See you soon.